Hi guys and good morning. This is in CWQ. The time is 10:50 a.m. 11/14/2022. And I have y'all looking at EMSC, and we're just going to go over some earthquakes that have occurred since midnight on EMSC up until now. And we can see that we have had a 5.1 wrecked James Ridge. And we're going to go and look at this earthquake. It was 10 kilometers deep. So we're going to look at these on Google Earth. I have not yet looked at any of these earthquakes on Google Earth. So we're just going to look at them together. So let's get the places put in and we will go and look at them. This is over on the wrecked James Ridge, or right off of it. You can see this is the location. This looks pretty much like some underwater seamounts here. We can see that's a divergent fault, and that's a transform fault there. We also have a smaller transform fault here, which is off by itself. So that's off the wrecked James Ridge. And we'll move on to our next earthquake. And we can see that, and I'm going only with the largest ones today. There was a 5.0 Eastern New Guinea region, Papua New Guinea. This one was a 5.0. It was 10 kilometers deep. We'll get this one put in as well. We can see this one is near Papua New Guinea. This is near the islands that are over here. You can see all these little seamounts out here. But nothing notable around where this earthquake is. Moving on to our next one. You can see wrecked James Ridge had another 4.9, but it's not a 5.0. We move on to our next one, which was a 6.1 south of Fiji Islands. And there was some over the weekend, to include a 6 in Japan, Honshu area. Sorry, I don't tend to make videos on Sunday. That is family time for me. We can see that this one was over here in this area where the other 6s have been hitting. We had a 6 up here, and this is near the, I believe that's the transform. It is not popping up for me. That's a convergent. So this one would be off of the divergent, and this is the transform. So you can see that other 6s here. There has to be something going on in this area for so many 6s. You can see all of these are underwater seamounts here, and possibly underwater volcanoes, so I would say it's linked to volcanism. Moving on from Fiji Islands, we go to page 2. And we go to the 6.1, which was near the south coast of Honshu, Japan, which I was talking about a little bit ago. And it was 352 kilometers deep.
I wonder how many of those he paid off.
We get this put into our screen here. can look and see that it goes straight up to Honshu, Japan. This one was in the ocean. This is Honshu, Japan here. We can see that this was on the Convergent Fault. And it looks like this is the area where you have a downward motion of land. A nice little slope here. This could be volcanic, but I think it's more or less land movement. And you can see there's a lot of underwater seamounts out here as well. We move on to our next one, if we have one. That was Japan. You can see there was a 2.0 in Oklahoma. South Australia had a 2.6. Nevada had a 2.0. Tonga had a 4.4. I assume that may be an aftershock. Then we had a 5.5 Pacific Antarctic Ridge, which was 10 kilometers in depth. And the last time I remember seeing something that big out that way, it was followed by a bigger quake in New Zealand. Along with, like, there was a time when I recall there being bigger quakes south of Fiji and a big quake down in this area. And then there was a big quake with New Zealand. Let's hope there is no repeat or aftermath to that. This one here is on the Divergent Fault. So you can see this one kind of runs up like a stepladder here. So I would expect maybe to see another one over this way or off of this area. But you can see this is where the 6s have been happening. This is where the 5.5 is happening. I think it may have been downgraded. So let me go look at the back page. And you can see that this one was upwards of 5.8 here at 100 kilometers in depth. So let's see if we can pull up any info. Just curiosity here. We'll go with info that they have posted. If I can find that info, I don't see it on that one. Some of these post info, some do not. 5.1, 5.91, so could have been plus or minus. Here's more information. So it could have been plus or minus, along with error. But the interesting thing is the area of that earthquake. So if we look at it, this is Antarctica here. Funny thing is, I would love to know how many earthquakes happen actually in Antarctica, but we don't see much sensory data for Antarctica, and I'm assuming Antarctica has earthquakes as well. We just don't see much information. Anyway, that was Pacific Antarctic Ridge. We can see our next one was a Tonga, 4.8. And that is the end of my update. Hope y'all are doing well. Please take good care of yourselves and each other. Oh, and by the way, Ukraine had a 2.3 earthquake. Wonder where that is located. Let's take a look. Even though it's small, I still want to look. You know, Ukraine has been at war with Russia, so not used to seeing Ukrainian earthquakes. So let's see where this is. It is located in the woods. There is a town here.
Are you just never happy?
It's not, I don't have any names turned on, so I'm not sure why. Hang on a second. Okay. I don't know how to read any of this, but this says Parkim Terrace Shemenshirka. Okay. I don't pronounce those really good, but if anybody can read this, then they'll know what this says. I just turned on the names of the roads. Okay. Anyways, you guys, I hope y'all are doing well. Please be good to yourselves and each other. Much love.